All right, man. That was a good 15 days for us. It was, a lot of work I thought our guys put in. Obviously, we've talked about it this offseason with Coach Nico and his staff in the weight room, really, and then on the field with the training that we had. And, man, they did put a lot of great work. That was awesome to see. But then we came out in the spring, installing a new defense, bunch of new kids on that side of the ball. I feel like on offense, you had a bunch of guys back on offense for this spring, which was nice for us compared to last spring. And, I thought we got accomplished what we needed to get accomplished, and which was, getting through spring with learning what we needed to do offensively and defensively with all our new players, and then competing at a high level. I thought every practice they were trying to make each other better at the competitions. And, today we didn't do as much today. I mean, we were going to keep it very simple today. We didn't rush more than 3 all day on defense, and that was intentional. Offensively, kept it a little bit more simple as well, and just really letting the guys go out and play. I mean, today, because everybody played on both sides, so both sidelines, you really wanted to keep it clean and not have a sloppy game, which I thought we did for the most part. And, so it was a great day. I really want to give a shout out to all the fans that showed up today. I thought it was a great atmosphere out there for our spring game. And really this week's been very special. Starting on Thursday when the Kelsey brothers came back and met with our team. Jason met with the O-line and Travis met with the tight ends. And then being able to go see their podcast Thursday night, that was a great celebration as well. And, and then the golf outing that we had. I mean, we had over 200 former football players come back for this golf outing on Friday. Bad weather, they didn't care. They're not very good golfers anyway, so it didn't really matter. But they went out and had a good time. And then we had our captain's breakfast this morning. We had 40 captains that came back this morning from, I think the earliest guy, I think it was a captain in 1960, and then all the way to 2022. So it was great to hear from them. Several of them got up and spoke. We had all our seniors that was at the breakfast to be able to hear and for them to share with our guys. Today, I mean, so many NFL players come back. Yesterday I played with Josh Wiley and Alec Pierce, and Sauce was out here today. I mean, he's just a lot of our NFL players, current players as well as guys that played a long time in the league that's got Super Bowls and championships, and it just tells you about the rich history that this program has. So many great people that are associated with this program, and every time this week comes around, last year was really my first time to get to see it, but this year, having known the faces now, it was so much more special, I think, to be able to hang out with all these guys. So it's a special place here, and excited about our team as we head into summer.
Questions for Coach?
I don't know what you would call it, but the way you organized the defense this spring with the pods or whatever it was. I know you talked early about going out of that into traditional 1s and 2s, but you stayed with it.
We did.
What did you get out of that was so valuable to stay in that system?
Yeah, I mean, I just think we had red and black, okay, and each day we changed it up. One day the red would start out first, the next day the black started out, because I didn't want to say anybody to say you're a starter or you're a second team or a third team. It doesn't matter. If you ask our freshmen that just got here, they got as many reps as anybody. I mean, those guys, Zay Johnson and Simeon Coleman. I mean, these guys, Jake Wheelock. I mean, they're getting a ton of reps out here. But we wanted to do that on purpose. We wanted everybody to feel like every position is up for grabs. Everybody's competing for that spot on this field. I mean, Dante Corleone, I told him, you're getting competition, buddy. And Jay Hunt gave him a lot of great competition this spring. I thought he had a great spring. So it was every single position. And we did that on purpose, and we continue that all through. And you know what? It's going to be that way all through summer too. We'll find out in August, probably toward the end of higher grounds, when we figure out who's going to be our starters. We tried out that first game, so I want that competition.
What was your impression of the quarterback position today and Samaj in the white uniform, full contact? How do you kind of go about making that decision? You did that with Brady last year.
Yeah, I mean, we always try to do that with a young player. I don't ever want one of our players to go out and their first time getting tackled is on a game, So we want it to happen there. Quite honestly, they want it too, though. They wanted it all spring. Samaj did last year. Drogas did. So we give them what they wanted. Let's see it. Samaj came in here. I mean, he looks like a linebacker anyway. I mean, the guy did 225 17 times. He's stronger than some of our linebackers has been here. So on the bench press. So. But no, it was good. I thought today was a solid day by our guys. I mean, Samaj had, to me, the one mistake on the interception that he said he was trying to throw it away, but you got to make certain that it's out of bounds. I thought the guys played very good. I mean, today was a lot of drop eight, so you're not going to find as many windows in the back end. They did a good job of, throwing some underneath throws. So I thought it was very solid by those guys. Man, they're such great people in that quarterback room, and and that's what you want. They're trying to help each other out, but yet at the same time they're trying to compete. I mean, they all want to play. We all understand that, and they're trying to do the best job they can once they get out there. The thing about it is you're throwing a bunch of guys into the huddle that some will play next year for, some won't, and you don't know what's going to be in there. Sometimes you call a route, the guy may not run the right route. So, I mean, it's a little bit, I think, difficult for those guys. But at the same time, I thought they did a really good job with it. Running back-wise, I thought those guys ran hard today. We held Corey out. I mean, we know what he can do. He can break a lot of tackles, right? We didn't want to – he takes a lot of beating in the fall. We didn't want to have him get beat up in the spring. So we allowed those other guys to play, and we need to see them. And I thought, they had some really good, strong runs today. And this is the first day we really tackled this much. You really can't tell how a running back is going to be until you tackle. And so we needed that with those backs. I thought they ran hard. They ran tough. They made some good cuts. Took care of the ball when they ran it. So I thought that was, to me, was really, really pleased to see that in that running back room. Thought the tight ends did some nice things blocking and catching. So I really feel good about that room. I think it was fun to see. Wide receiver-wise, we were out missing a few guys today, and so, some of the other guys had to play. But I thought Sterling had Burkhalter had a really good spring ball. I thought he had a couple good catches out here. Kale caught him a nice deep ball in the back corner of the end zone. He's had an impressive camp as well. He can really run. I think, Tyron Smith didn't do much today, but he's a very solid player for us as well. So, I thought wide receiver down a little bit today, but I still think this overall spring they did a good job with it.
You've got Carter Brown back to kick, but the long snapper's different, the holder's different. Made everything today, including a 55-yarder. Did you see that unit grow over the course of 15 practices?
I think, and then Fletch hit some bombs today too. I think Carter struggled a little bit this spring, quite honestly, and wasn't as consistent. But he's working through some things. He's obviously trying to get better. But I thought, man, he kicked it great today. It's the best he's looked today. I mean, he hit him, he nailed him. There was really no doubt once he kicked the ball that it was going in, and that's what you want to see. You want to see that confidence. Fletch has been around a long time. He's holding out, but he's been around here. But I think the operation today was good. We got a lot of kicks today that we needed to see live action. And when the lights are on and people are in the stands, that's when you got to knock it down. And I was proud of Carter the way he came out and did that today, and as well as Fletch. Fletch, he missed probably the first half of spring, and then toward the end started getting back punting a little bit. But today was really his first big live day, and I thought he kicked the ball great as well. So, it feels good to have those guys come back off a team, especially with the experience that they got last year.
Coach Fight runs out on the field after Logan makes a pick there at the end. How do you gauge and judge the defense on a day when two of the guys are in red shirts? So sometimes it looks like, well, maybe they might have made it, or maybe they wouldn't have.
Well, I mean, that spring, we'll go back on film and you'll say, yeah, they're in a great position to make it. I think that's all you can ask for, is be in the position to make the plays. I think it's hard to tell at some point, as you're looking at it out here, when you go back and watch the film, you really get to see, where was their alignment, were they properly aligned, what was their steps, was the depth correct, were their hand placement correct. And that's what you want to see as a coach. Are they doing the correct things fundamentally? And then, when it's live like this, are they bringing their feet, running and trying to tackle these running backs? I mean, I think that's the other thing we got to go back and look at. If who missed tackles, who didn't, who needs to work on those type things.
With the adjustment of the defense to Tyson Bite's system, how much have you seen that group kind of gel together, and what does it look like timeline-wise in terms of just the install of that full system as we get into the summer?
Yeah, I mean, I think, it's a slow process. We really took it slow early in the spring. Then toward the middle of it, we started doing a lot more things with it. Today we dialed it right back and just did day one install stuff today. The call sheet was probably 3 plays on it today. We just want to see the guys run around and make plays. But, I think this summer is going to be big. Anytime you got a new scheme, we got to take advantage of these days in the summer by meeting with our kids and really going through this, dissecting what we got to do. And then August, obviously, higher ground, putting everything we need to put in order to start the season. But pleased with where we are defensively, as we come through the spring. A lot of new faces on that side of the ball and a lot of guys that I think will be able to play and help us.
In year one, there was pretty clearly some gains that needed to be made in physicality, athleticism, length. When you look at this team out there, how much closer do they look like to long-term where you want to get this thing?
Yeah, I mean, we're pleased with, for example, the 10 high school players that came in. We're excited about those guys. I thought, those guys came in and really came out and made, like Sanks today. Sanks made a couple of great plays. I mean, he looks like he belongs out there, So that's what you want to be able to see is those guys making plays. Simeon, he looks like he belongs, So I think those tight ends, man, I think they're going to be really good. It's good to see them. And the thing that we love about it, because those early enrollees, they get a million reps. We get to coach off of that, make those mistakes and corrections, and then come back out. Zay Johnson, Willie Goodwin. Really all of them. I can go on all 10 of them. And we had, I think, 5 or 6 of our signees were here today as well, and they're looking good, So can't wait to get him in the summer. So, and then the transfers, think about, particularly in the defensive back room, you think about maybe the safeties and the corners, we brought in some guys I think they'll be able to help us to compete at this level.
One more for Coach. Used to be after today you could maybe head to the beach, but this portal thing starts to go, and how does that affect your next couple of weeks?
Yeah, it's always busy. We stay busy, and I think, for us right now, next week we'll meet with our guys. We got a team meeting on Monday. We'll meet with our guys, man. We like where we're at with our team. I feel good about our guys. It's all about culture. It's all about connecting and having a fit. And this is a tight team. I think that this team cares about each other. Even the guys that just got here, I feel like, the guys are really working hard to connect with each other. And I think that's what it's all about. And I think when you create that culture, guys want to be a part of that. They want to be on that team. Every team's not like that. Every team's not where everybody's pulling for each other. And I think we're creating that. It's going to be year 2. We're headed in that direction. And but it's aggravating that we have to deal with this, but it's part of it. And but we'll sit down, we'll meet with all our guys and figure out where we need to go. We have a few more scholarships available, so we'll look to add a couple more guys to come into the mix, to where we feel like we need to get some more either depth or a position that may need some help as a starter. So we'll go evaluate that and see where we're at. And but I'm just looking forward to this summer and getting back with our guys and working with them, all summer long. Appreciate you guys.